Alright, there we go. Hopefully I'm on the shot and shit. What's up, everybody? It is update time. I gotta work on my intros. My intros are stupid. Let's see, where do I start? Whiskey and Wheelies, episode 4. So, I had surgery 2 weeks ago. I had my VP shunt removed. Alright, so, anyway, yeah, Whiskey and Wheelies episode 4. I had my surgery 2 weeks ago to take my shunt out. Where to start with that? It was gonna be an outpatient surgery, but I ended up staying for a night just because my surgery ended up getting pushed back. So it was kind of, I went back at like 3 something in the afternoon, and then the surgery was gonna take between a half an hour and like 3 hours, depending on, you know, what he found when he was in there and whatnot. And since I like to make things difficult, it ended up being a little bit longer of a surgery. The doctor said it was tough, but he got most of the tubing out and all of the parts that were causing me my pain and range of motion issues and shit in my shoulders and whatnot, which more on that in a second. Feels great now. Yeah, so anyway, about the surgery, I ended up getting out of the operating room at like 8 or 9 p.m. I believe. So I was still like super groggy, like half asleep and all that nonsense. So we just thought it was best that I stay overnight just in case. Because for my part, like I said, I was like half asleep and whatnot, and I ended up with like quite a few different incisions. I think like 4 or 5. I'll try to include pictures in this somewhere, but I got 2 on the back of my head where the main shunt and the pump and all that stuff was, and then I got 2 in my back in my shoulder blade area where all the calcification and the chunks of nonsense and all that shit was. Then I got 1 in my abdomen to remove the tubing that was coiled in my abdomen. And so I ended up with a bunch of staples. I got staples in my head, I got staples in my stomach. The ones in my back, I think they just put glue on those bitches, which is cool. It would have sucked to have like staples back there because just while the pain aspect wasn't really that bad, it just still wasn't very comfortable dealing with like the staples. And I got a plate in the back of my head now because we were told before, so we already knew this, that there was a chance that um, the needle that was placed into my brain to drain the fluid from the hydrocephalus was, there was a chance that he was going to have to sever that from the tubing because having my shunt in so long, my skull and whatnot was like starting to the grow over the needle that was planted in my brain. So, long story short, he ended up having to sever that, which he told us there was a possibility that he would have to do. But so he severed the tubing from the needle and took out as much of the tubing as he could. He left a few inches in my neck because he didn't want to have to cut into my neck, which I appreciate. That's cool. Um, it's not really it's not really a problem for me, like leaving that part in and stuff, because like I said, ultimately the goal was to get my range of motion back and get rid of all the pain and discomfort and range of motion issues and all that type of shit out of this one area, this one high stress area in my shoulder blades. And so, yeah, I got a plate in my head to essentially keep my, since he had to leave the needle in my brain, he put the plate over just in case, I don't like smack the back of my head and shit and push the needle in and cause a brain bleed or what have you. But anyway, where else do I go with that? Man, I gotta start releasing these like more often because I wrote these notes, like, because I was gonna do this video a long time ago and I just never did. So I wrote my notes a couple weeks ago. But yeah, anyway, the process of the surgery process and like getting in there and stuff, it was a little different than I'm used to. Because of, like the whole COVID thing and, you can't have visitors and whatever, so like that kind of sucked. Like I couldn't really have anybody there with me, like family members and what have you. I had like my mom and stuff, which is always cool. She's always there, which is great. They let her stay because I don't know. I have people over there that love me and shit, I guess. But yeah, had the surgery in Santa Monica. Stayed overnight. The pain really wasn't that bad. My stomach, my abdomen, it just for the most part felt like really bad road rash, just from like the staples and stuff. So it was like more of like a prickly, like a sandpapery type, like somebody was rubbing sandpaper on my stomach. So it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't really that bad. And my back was more of a dull pain, which that was a little more annoying because like I had to like lay on my back and stuff, and so I was putting pressure on that area and all that, so that it didn't really feel that good. It was like more of a dull pain, but it was kind of annoying more than anything. Then my head, it was like as I'm sure you'd expect. It's like I had a little bit of a headache. Um, it's like more of a dull pain coming from there, just from the plate and the hardware and the staples in there and stuff, and just once again laying on my back, the back of my head was like smushed against like the bed and stuff, and so like I said, it wasn't nearly as for all of the incisions and the staples, and I was expecting a lot more, a lot more, at least discomfort, but I was honestly pleasantly surprised with how all that turned out and stuff. But yeah, let's see what else. Let's see. So yeah, fast forward to a couple days ago, I went and I got my staples removed. So now, now I'm just waiting on a few pretty gnarly scabs to heal, and I'm trying not to like mess with them and stuff, as I'm doing right now. Probably stop that. But yeah, man. So, and I started working out the other day, like nothing really crazy, because it's barely like 2 weeks after surgery, but I was just moving around and stuff, and right away I was just like blown away by how amazing my shoulder felt, and I can move it in ways like I haven't been able to in years, because of all the calcification and all the chunks, which he said there was a good amount in there. He said it was a good sized chunk in there around my tubing, which should explain why I was having the issues that I was with my shoulder, and with like repetitive motions, and I wheel my chair and I hand cycle, and it's kind of the same motions, and it's kind of the same, putting stress on the same areas and whatnot. But yeah, my range of motion is way better. I'm not worried about all the cracking and thumping and all of that I was getting before, because my shoulder just, there was ways my shoulder just didn't want to fucking move, so had to deal with that for a while. So the plan now with that is to So yeah, the plan now with my shoulder is I'm gonna just, now that I actually can, I'm gonna start doing more range of motion exercises and working on getting that back. So I mean, my shoulder already feels better. It just, my trap and stuff is like really tight from all the years of that calcium building up and restricting my movement and such. But yeah, anyway, other than that, what else? I mean, my birthday was a few days ago. That was pretty cool. Hung out with some friends. Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here, and 'cause I don't think I have anything else to talk about besides there's gonna be another UFC card on next weekend. That's gonna be on Yaz Island in Abu Dhabi, so I might do like a breakdown or like a recap of that card, because I'm gonna try to watch it just to see how all that plays out, 'cause it's a pretty wacky idea, this whole like Fight Island thing, so be cool to see how that goes down. But yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it at that for now, and then I'll hit you guys up later with, I don't know, maybe some UFC stuff, like I said. But yeah, man, I think that's gonna be it for now, so I don't just start rambling about random nonsense. So yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys later.